Okay, I have this massive conspiracy theory, but honestly, it might be caused by tellurium farming. That it just broke my brain. I am not sure. But hear me out, okay? I have a theory that, you know how like they say, like when you're farming tellurium, right? Where is it? Yeah. Ophelia is the best place because it's a survival mission, so there's a lot of enemies, and because it's submersible, then the enemies drop it, okay? And yet, personally, I have a lot more success doing Salacia. Now, it's not success per mission, it's success per hour. Have you ever done Salacia and like, yeah, you get like missions, you get like 0, right? Like, yeah, that happens pretty often. But then you get missions where you get like 3, right? I had a mission, I got 4, right? But one of them, I don't know if I had like a double drop chance or something, but like, I got 4 in a mission. I don't think your companion applies when you are in these missions, so I can't say. But I got 4 in one mission. There were multiple missions, I got 3. Obviously, this is not like often, right? But in an hour, right, of just farming Salacia, which is about... It's not really 10, it's more like 8 or 9 runs per hour. I usually get about 5 or more, right? 5 would be like lowballing it, how many per hour I would get, right? Whereas like sometimes I do Ophelia, and in an hour I get like 2. Okay, and this is where my theory comes into play. I think, and this is completely with no evidence and absolutely not knowing how the spaghetti code in Warframe works, okay? I think, to an extent, drop rate is predetermined when you go into a map. I know it's fucking crazy, but I think tellurium farming has destroyed my brain. Okay? How is it that sometimes you go into Salacia and like it's raining tellurium? Like it's just fucking like tellurium everywhere. And then like you run 10 runs in a row and like you get nothing. How is it that sometimes I go into Ophelia and then within the first 10 minutes I have like 2 or 3 tellurium, and then for 50 minutes I get 0? It's like, oh, well, you got super lucky. Did I though? Because usually when I don't get my tellurium within the first 20 minutes, I almost never, or maybe I get like 1 for the next 30-40 minutes. Whereas like when I get my tellurium early, I am more likely, that I've noticed, okay, I haven't done this like insane amount of times, right? But it's like usually if I do Ophelia and I get like 2 on the first 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, good, this is a good run. And then you get a bit more of them throughout, right? Not very often, but at least they're dropping. Whereas like if you do an Ophelia and like nothing drops for the first 20 minutes, good luck getting anything for the next 40, right? And again, I do this on normal. I don't know how it is in Steel Path. I haven't unlocked it yet, right? So, you know, spending hours farming spending hours farming Telluria might have actually destroyed my brain. But I actually want to see if people experience something similar, right? You're farming a material and sometimes there are just missions where it just rains, like it fucking like, you know, like you go into like, oh man, argon shards are the worst fucking culprit, okay? Sometimes you do a Terranus or whatever it's called, defense, and like 20 minutes, not even 1 argon shard. And sometimes you do it and in the first 5 minutes you get like 3 and you're like, okay, this is gonna be a good run. You finish the 20 minutes with like 10 argon shards, right? And it's like, how does this make any sense? Right, same with like was it? Yeah, it was Tyrannus. And then same with is it Mott? Yeah, Mott Survival, right? Or Uko? No, yeah, I think it was Mott, right? Mott's the survival one. Yeah. So Mod, I believe, is the one I do for survival. I haven't done this in many days, so like I usually just look up which one I usually do, right? Just take from the list. Same thing here, right? Even like the capture, right? If the Argon Shard has the same % drop chance, okay, every single time, how come when I do a capture, when I do not a capture because I usually like only kill one and run out, how come when I do the exterminate I get way more Argon Shards per minute, like per hour, than I would if I did defense or if I did survival? You would think survival has more enemies. Here I'm just like, you know, killing my 100. If I do solo, it's like 90 or something, and get out, right? Survival, in that amount of time, you're killing way more than 90. Meanwhile, I get like 2 to 3 times more drops in the exterminate, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Right, so that's why I'm thinking where it's like it says that it's maybe the thing is that it's like it says it's 0.2%, but there's like increased drop chance per minute. Oh my god, I'm starting to develop a new conspiracy theory, which again I have absolutely no basis for. So I'm just like fucking, you know, speedballing it, speedballing my brain rot. Right, but maybe survivals by default have slightly lower chance. However, the statistics that is on the website, because it's statistics. I don't think that I'm pretty sure Warframe did not come out and says like, oh yeah, this is the % chance. I think it's just statistics that like after counting the amount of kills, this is the drop rate. And maybe because people are doing survival and they're killing more, and it shows that the % drop chance for all these killing is 0.2%, but maybe Celestia, that is not a survival, has a higher drop chance, right? Similar thing where it's like they say that it's like if you want to farm, is it this one? Yeah, if you want to farm plastids, right? I think you do Akkad, or sorry, you do Zabala, right? And it's like, bro, in 5 minutes I'm getting like 150, 200. Obviously, no boosters, nothing. I'm just talking about like normal numbers, right? Just from the kills, right? But then like you run an exterminate and you just fucking run through that mission, and you get like twice as much, right? Now again, might be just the enemies, might be that I'm going over like containers that contained it and stuff like that. But then it's like, shouldn't, like, my brain. The point I'm saying that it's like it feels like survival, just stuff like survival and defense, where it's pretty much like an AFK grind, which is like it's fine, right? It's like, yeah, sometimes you just want to like, you know, grind, chill, don't want to move too much, watch a YouTube video while doing it. So it's like maybe the survival and defense missions are in the background, like kind of like a secret. Man, my brain is so rotted from the tellurium farm. Maybe there's like a hidden what do you call it? A hidden code that lowers the drop chance in survival and defense to like, you know, like to a certain extent, and then everywhere else you get more drops. But because everywhere else you actually have to play the game, you have to move around, you have to like, you know, parkour through the map, like go fast and stuff like that, so you actually have to actively play the game. Maybe the drop chance in those types of scenarios that is higher than the maps where you can just like, you know, go for an hour, just watch a YouTube video or whatever, and just like barely pay attention and just like, you know, AoE farm without really doing too much, just sitting in one room that has a good spawn, right? Similar with defenses right now. And again, excavation is even better in my opinion. If there were more, I wish there were more excavation maps. The reason I like it, I mean, two things that suck about excavation, well, sorry, main thing sucks about excavation for drops is that not enough monsters spawn, in my opinion. There should be way more monsters, similar to like a defense or a survival mission, or like maybe that's the case in Steel Path. I don't know, but like excavation feels like not enough enemies. Why do I think excavation is good? Similar with the disruption, but again, lack of enemies, is because every 5 minutes you're getting the bonus, right? You're getting the extra loot, extra this, extra that, right? I think like you get those in other missions too. I think there's even like a survival mission where you get it. But like I know excavation, you basically it was man. Am I like did I just lose my mind? Maybe it was disruption then. But anyways, there are missions where every 5 minutes is a rotation, or basically every rotation, and you get like a boost to drop, a boost to affinity, a boost to this, a boost to that, right? So I think defense missions have it too. So maybe excavation, but there are no excavations in space, so yeah, it is what it is. Maybe those missions would even be better. But at this point, I think I'm just losing my shit farming Ophelia for 30 minutes and getting like maybe 1 tellurium if I'm lucky. Meanwhile, if I just like spam Salacia, which is like a 6 to 8 minute mission, and like you just get like a massive fucking, you know, dopamine rush when you get like 2 or 3 of them in a mission. Shit, even when you get the first one, you're like, oh shit, here we go, it's starting. But then it's like you got it at the end of the mission, so you're like, oh, okay, well, no, better than nothing. I know. Anyways, let me know what you think about this loot theory. I know this game is old, so it's like everything has been through the ringer at this point. It's like I'm sure people hypothesized everything they could about this so far. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think Tellurium just broke my brain, as I'm sure it did many others. Anyways, peace.